So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified Brewhead, and welcome to another edition of BML here on BAOS. This evening, I have some bangers all the way from St. Albans, Vermont. 14th Star. You might have seen the podcast with them we did last year. It was about a year ago, almost to the day that we're recording this. And we did one or two BMLs with some of their other stuff, but I have some beers we haven't covered before. So huge shouts to the team as well, by the way. Joe, you're a legend. Prescott, Dave, everyone out there for always supporting us and making sure that we're supporting them. I love you. So we have 4 beers. First one is a Kölsch. Have not had that before. Second one is their flagship American IPA, which I didn't think I'd had, but because the podcast was just over a year ago, that came up in my thing. I actually don't remember doing it on the podcast. We have a brand new beer, which is their coffee IPA. And the one I'm most excited about, which we did have last time, was the B-72 double IPA. So, let's start with the Kölsch. This bad boy is called Forget Me Not. If you don't know much about 14th Star, they are veteran owned. So they have a lot of military type of situations to references, lots of the stars, things like that. So, Best Buy. Oh wow, they got a Best Buy code on here. Alright, interesting. So I made the Best Buy. So it's just Kölsch. Doesn't say the hops. So I'm a fan of Kölsch's, fan of Crispy Boys. I got the proper glassware finally. Alright, back to the Kölsch. So 5.3%. Like I don't know what hops. Usually it'd be like something like I assume like a SARS or some sort of noble type of joint. Nice chill haze, wicked head. Smells malty. And yeah. Great. Wow, it's really good. Generally find that because I've been drinking a lot of Pilsners and lagers lately, whenever I do have a Kölsch, I'm not as into them because it's an ale, right? So I guess it's less sharp carb. Just a little different mouthfeel. Like the sharpness and the crispness of a lager or Pilsner is very different to this, but it kind of has its own little vibe, like a little fruity. Malty, like a touch creamy. Still sort of sharp and bitter. It has that similar crackery malt base. Yeah, man, I dig it. This tastes great. Interesting that they did have a Best Buy date on the can. It's in about a week or so, so I did make it, but I did get this probably 6 weeks ago, so I've been trying to catch up on all my beer mails. Fantastic brew. This one, let's see if it has a Best Buy as well. I like that. All right. This is the Follow Me American IPA. Like I said, I don't really recall much about it. I had it among maybe I think we had 10 beers that podcast. It was a little crazy. Like samples, but still. Oh, we split cans. This is like I said, American IPA, 4.9%. Might have even been considered a session IPA. I remember writing that down. So this is their flagship. I believe it's kind of probably more on the West Coast vein. Sometimes I guess they're sort of like a bit more. It's kind of too bright to be West Coast. But yeah, sometimes they a lot of IPAs I've noticed these days, if they're not New England's, which I guess a ton are, they're either West Coast or they're kind of like this like midway fruity yet still crispy and only slightly opaque or whatever. Which seems to be what this is. Nice fluffy head. Smells tropical. Get in, y'all. Nice. It's pretty much exactly that. It's got a little bit of like a bitter, dank, resiny bite. Yeah, whilst being super creamy, really crushable, sharp, a little tropical and fruity, not overly malty, not really dank either. Really good mouthfeel though. Man, I like it. I dig it. I can see why this would be like a nice, I guess a flagship that we'll keep around year round. You're going to need it. So now, this one, I'm quite intrigued about this one. This is a coffee IPA with cold brew and galaxy hops. They have a really sick maple breakfast stout that also has cold brew, so it could be the same company. I don't even know what you would do. Oh, from the friends at Northern Bayou Cold Brew. Probably the same thing. I actually still have to do that video. The brewmaster at the time, Dan, gave me a little bottle of the cold brew, and I've still got a can of the stout, which lasts forever. So I want to see how that tastes side by side. So I was thinking about this as well when I was getting it ready. I was wondering if it would be kind of like a real darker IPA or just like a still brighter one, just happen to have coffee beans. So this is definitely more on the caramel side of things. It's going to be interesting. So I guess it would be like kind of like the coffee beans depending on their kind of taste profile. Excuse me, which I don't really know about. The Galaxy is definitely fruity. Cool color. Smells piney, but a little bitter. Like that coffee bitterness. And yeah. Alright. It's good. Definitely just West Coast IPA with coffee beans. But the coffee's subtle. Not over the top. Creamy body. Cool like foamy head. Bitter, resiny, piney. Malty, but not over the top. It's not like caramel and too far forward. I just don't really like malty beers too much. So this is nice. Sits well. The coffee's, like I said, super subtle. But it still kind of works. It's kind of like in the back, like you get a little smack thing in your mouth and you're getting more of the coffee in there. I like it. And not weird. I've had like one, I can think of one coffee IPA, maybe a few more, but they're not super common. So I've never loved them. I'm not going to say I don't love this, but it's interesting and I'm definitely going to drink the whole thing. Sometimes you can't get through them, but I like this a lot. It's totally cool. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I drink it often, but I would totally rock that. Fun seasonal one-off. I like that. All right, the one I've been looking forward to, the B-72 New England. Now, I haven't had this version because what had happened, their main IPA, which is kind of more of a like West Coast, West meets East type of thing, because it's still kind of creamy and hazy, was called Tribute. And that was like 8.2%, and B-72 was like 8.1, something like that. And now they brought it down to 7.2 because it kind of was redundant. It is a different beer, like it's totally different hop bill and different consistency. This is what I would definitely call a New England IPA. What does it tell you? Which ones? Hop bomb, Aussie and American varieties. It doesn't tell you what. So let's see how this one is. 7.2 is kind of more in my range. I really like between 6 and 8. That's my jam. I feel like that's the solid point. Wow, look at that. Great color. It was really funny. They do this one. Oh, there you go. There's all the chunks I was looking for. Yeah. I love it. Dan, the old brewmaster that he has left since. I just noticed he's like signatures on the can. I have to change that. Dan isn't really a big fan of New England IPAs. So I guess they're sort of one of the breweries that they're not a huge fan of it, but they do it really well. Like I genuinely love this beer, and I shared some from the last time with a few other folks, and they were loving it too. Amazing color, super bright lemon colored, wicked meringue type of head. Kind of smells danky, but I just want to get in. Cheers. Just how I remembered. Definitely dank. I forgot about that. It's kind of like a treehouse style. Dank, creamy, chalky, dusty. Super crushable. It doesn't taste any less, like there's no less flavor from what I can recall. Granted, I probably had the last one around this time last year or like, 8 to 10 months ago type of thing. So I don't really recall, but it doesn't feel like there's anything less going on here than what there was before. It's probably slightly toned down, maybe a little less heat. Love it. This is great, and I love this is year round. They keep doing it. It's beautiful. This is fantastic. Look how sexy that is. Sorry. So this is a nice range of beers, guys. Really enjoyed all of these. Favorite would be the B-72, but that's my ridiculous bias. I really do like the Kölsch as well. But I'm going to enjoy drinking these tonight. So make sure if you are ever in Vermont and go check out 14 Star. I know they got distro everywhere too. Like everywhere we go in New York, they're around. I believe they're around Massachusetts, like all around New England. So check them out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, boom, smash the thumbs up. Hit subscribe below. Hit the notification bell. So you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast. Check out the long form audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the links in the description. Tons of great stuff coming. That is it, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. And as always, get it in y'all.